Hey guys, Alexotos here. So today we're going to be talking about my top keycaps in no particular order. Just wanted to tell you guys that. And how to pick and choose a keycap and what to look out for. That's more along the lines of, hey, what should I look for when I buy a keycap and how can I maintain my keycaps? So to get it started, guys, I just wanted to mention one thing before we do anything. I will not be including the Jellikey Zenpon spacebar, simply because that gets a lot of exposure already on my Instagram page. With that being said, guys, I'm just not going to include it in this. If you guys do want to take a look at photos of that, check my Instagram page. It's literally in almost all of the Tofu keyboard shots. One thing I did want to mention though is I think Jellikey is going to be re-releasing that. The reason why I say that is because they left a comment on my Instagram post that had the spacebars inside saying that they were going to release a spacebar. I'm assuming it's the Zenpon because it makes sense because of context with the post. But this is what they said. This little picture here. So my suggestion is take that with a grain of salt. I'm not really sure what they're doing with that. I thought it was a really cool thing to say on their part, because if they do re-release it, that'll be awesome. There's a few colors that I really want, and I kind of want some more sizes too. So let's get right into the top list. So at number 1, and again, no particular order, I'm going to pick Dwarf Factory. Now, Dwarf Factory has been a long-standing favorite of mine. The reason why is because it's like little worlds inside their keycap. Some of my favorite ones are actually going to be the recently released Kraken keycap, and that thing there is just insane. When I first received it, I was taking a look at it under a magnifying glass, and I noticed there's like a little scuba diver inside, and I thought that was awesome. The level of detail inside these things just blows my mind. It's crazy what they can stick inside of a little keycap. What I'd really love to see is them do a spacebar. I think that would be awesome. Maybe even some sort of Kraken scene with, you know, a Kraken chasing something down. That would be crazy cool. But some other really cool notable keycaps they have is their Apollo keycap, which has a lunar landing craft inside with a little astronaut. And if you look really closely, you can see the spaceman floating towards the lunar landing craft, and I thought that was really, really cool. I know that one there was, I believe, one of their best sellers at one point, but I'm hoping the Kraken passed that. The Kraken was just awesome. And then I also have a little favorite of mine too, which kind of goes back to the water theme, which is their Lighthouse keycap, which has a little whale inside. I actually picked 2 of those up when they were on sale. I think they're still on sale right now. Picked one up for me, one up for my dad. We really, really love them. They really kind of suit an underwater themed keyboard, which I was trying to do at one point, but I kind of strayed away from. So coming in at number 2, guys, is gonna be PRIMECAPS. And the reason why I picked PRIMECAPS is not only are they Canadian, just like myself, PRIMECAPS releases some of my all-time favorite keycaps, like the Cloud McFly, I believe it's called, or Cloud Runner. And they also released one of my other favorite keycaps, being the recently released Multiverse. I know they've had other Celestial or Galaxy style ones in the past. I'm not sure if they were all called Multiverse, but I know it's not their first time doing one of those. The reason why I really love this thing is you can take a closer look here. I'll add some really close-ups of this too. And I know there was a keycap showcase on my website, alexotos.com. So if you really want some close-ups, take a look there. And what I really love about it is just how they use that kind of shimmering effect to create a galaxy. So when you look at it dead on, it literally looks like you're in some sort of space scene. Now, I'm a sucker for space stuff myself. I actually had to give one of these to my friend just because he is going after a kind of space-themed keyboard, and he's collecting anything celestial or space to kind of put on the top row. And I know he's planning on getting some sort of acrylic casing and doing all purple around it. So that's gonna be really dope, and I can't wait till he's finished that. I might even post some pictures on my Instagram page once he's done. I know one of the other keycaps they released recently was their Another Skull. Hoping I'm pronouncing that right, Another Skull. That one there I got in a limited colorway, which is gonna be green with almost like these opal looking eyes. And I really, really love it. And the really nice thing I love about PRIMECAPS is just I've never had any issues with the fit of their stem, which I'll talk about later in the video. But these things are great quality. You can tell so much love goes into them. And like I said, they're also Canadian, which I really love because there's not a whole lot of Canadian vendors. So number 3 on the list, guys, is going to be something that I hold dear to my heart, and that would be Latrillium. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering that. She really makes these cool keycaps that almost have like a smoky effect to them, and she uses a gradient inside, usually like a darker and warmer color, or just a darker and brighter, more vibrant color. And then she'll put some gold flake at the top. Now, is it real gold? Beats me, I don't know. Some of my favorite colorways are actually going to be the recently released all black colorway with the smoky gray inside. Now, that was also released alongside her Nightwalker keycap, which is fantastic. And I took a lot of photos of those too, and those are going to be on alexotos.com as well. I'm trying to do more and more of these product highlights where I showcase everything and put them all inside a kind of web page. That way there you guys can take a look at some high resolution close-ups. So definitely take a look at that. Now I know with her keycaps, there are group buys, so you really have to take a look at her Instagram page if you do want to buy them. I'm not sure, and I'm not quite positive she has any other venues to sell them at the moment. So if she does, I apologize. That's the only way I know how to get them right now other than Mech Market. So coming in next, number 4 is actually going to be a keycap that I only have one of, which is TXD Keycaps. One thing I really loved about this particular keycap was the box that it came in. I actually have the box right here. This particular box actually had a QR code on it, which you could scan to get to the product page, which I really loved. And it also has an NFC tag built inside the box, which I thought was dope. And what that did was it actually linked you to the specific keycap that you bought, which I thought, again, was a really nice touch. And it's a simple, cardboard box, but one thing I really loved about it. Now, the keycap itself is actually his bear keycap. The bear keycap is, I just love bears, but again, it's gonna be a celestial style. And that one there was like a clear blue. I posted it a few times on Instagram with a longer nose. It's like a bear pulling at its skin. Almost looks like that bear from Annihilation, if you guys watched that movie. That particular keycap is a little bit taller. It's gonna be more like a showpiece keycap. I recommend definitely looking at the TXD cap. I know his is, again, limited group buys, so you really have to pay attention. But that's one thing that I really love about him is just the presentation, the box that it came in, as well as just the keycaps, insanely good quality. And last on the list, guys, but not least, is gonna be the Gengar keycaps. Now I know I have posted a lot about these. Well, not so much a lot about them, but they're just in a lot of photos. They're definitely really cool keycaps, and I really do appreciate all the work that goes inside of them. And one other thing I really like about them too is how aggressive looking they are, so they can really turn a keyboard into something mean with that whole Gengar vibe of just being kind of a mischievous, spirit. So that's one thing I really, really love about those keycaps. Other than that, the keycaps are really good quality. I haven't had any fit issues with them. I have bought mine from Mech Market, so I really haven't gone through the official market quite yet. I should have a pair of those coming in soon. So that's one thing I'm really, really looking forward to. That's gonna conclude my list of my top keycaps. So to get into the next topic, guys, I want to talk about 3 things you should look out for when you're buying a keycap. So number 1, you should hear a dinging sound now. Number 1 is gonna be the stem. You might have heard me talk about that previously in the top 5. Stem is what actually attaches and sits on the stem of the Switch. So you can see this little part right over here. Again, I don't have it on automatic focus right now, so it's on manual. I will do a close-up, I promise. But this thing here, if it's not situated right, or if it's too big, too small, if it's soft, then it will wobble, or sometimes it doesn't fit at all. If it's crooked, the keycap actually sits crooked and sits on a slant, which can be really annoying visually. So that might not actually work on a keyboard. It might actually clip and hit the other keycaps. That's number 1. That's the first thing I definitely look for when I actually get the keycap in my hand. Number 2 is gonna be the polish and finish. So what I always look for too is if it's a resin cast like this, is if it's glossed over, it's polished well. If it's not, you're gonna see a lot of scratches. And if it feels nice in the hand too, so it's not rough or coarse or anything like that. Usually it's a good sign of a good polish. DWARF Factory in this case has never let me down with that, and everyone else I've bought from and talked about, or it's on my vendor list, has really never let me down in terms of quality. But that's one thing I do look for as well. I have seen keycaps online where they've just been really scratched up right from the manufacturer. So that's definitely not something I would enjoy as a consumer. And the final thing is just make sure you're getting the right keycap for your keyboard. Now, what I mean by that is there's 3 major, you could say, profiles. There's a lot more profiles, but what a profile is kind of the shape from the side. So the ones I tend to get are cherry profile, which are the slimmer ones, which I have currently on my Rama keyboard. And then the taller ones, which you can see a lot more stuff inside these, but these are SA profile. There is another popular profile, which is OEM, but they don't really make a whole lot of keycaps for those. And the other thing I did want to mention when you're looking at profiles is make sure you get the right row. So if you did want this for your WASD, those might be row 2 or 3. Sometimes row 2, row 3, depends on what the keyboard is. So usually the way you're gonna find that out is the keycaps that you buy. If it's not something that you get off of Amazon, a lot of the times they'll have like an R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and so on, of where the keycap actually would sit. So that's something I do recommend, and definitely recommend researching before you spend some money on a keycap, because I know these things can get pretty expensive. That's all I really wanted to say for today, guys. There's a few things I did want to mention really briefly. So one of them is I know that my sound test of my most recent keyboard kind of venture, which was showing you guys Lube Telios V2s, did really, really well on Instagram. I got something like 55,000 plus views, and it keeps going. So one thing that the person that actually lubed my switches did was they're gonna be maybe offering, a lubing service and maybe selling lube. You can check that out at Mech's Instagram page, and there's gonna be lots of information there. There's even a link on that page to their current website, which you can subscribe for the opening, which I've been told is October 19th. So I've actually also been told that they're gonna be doing group buys of switches that come pre-lubed to kind of save everyone the hassle. So definitely keep an eye out there, guys. Again, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by them. It's just a friend that started doing them. So I can definitely say that the quality has been pretty good so far. Now he is gonna be lubing my Gatoron inks that come in later this week. So I know you guys have all been saying get Gatoron inks and novelty cream switches. And by the way, cream switches with Tribosis lube is coming in this week as well. And I'm going to be testing those on a Tokyo 60 board. So stay tuned, guys. That's going to be something that I'm looking forward to, and I can't wait to get that in my hands. It's going to be so cool. And the last thing I wanted to mention to you guys is this weekend, we will have another giveaway, because I know we haven't done one in a while, and I really just want to give back to you guys. And then there's also going to be more giveaways happening later in October, as well as another giveaway happening in November. I'm not going to give any details this time about that. And I know this month too, Dwarf Factory is going to be releasing something special for Halloween, so keep an eye out for them too. And that's everything, guys. I just wanted to say thank you guys again for all the love and support. Last video did really well too, and I just, again, can't thank you guys enough. I will be posting more this week on Instagram, probably later on in the week. I'm going to be busy editing this video. So thank you guys so much, and peace out.